Welcome to the World of Q&A, sir. We, as you like to say in the chat there. Sorry I'm late by 2 weeks. By 2 weeks and 9 minutes. But here we go. What is this weird conversation about Brookside? I've got no idea. Welcome, Tom, Isla, Peter, Dodge. Painful Discourses there. Usual people. It's fantastic to have you coming back week on week. I don't know what's going on really. To be honest, I've been quite withdrawn and disengaged from all of the gaming discourse this week, which means I'm very much relying on all of you to tell me what's happening. Like, all of the conversation is going to be reliant on you people coming and talk to me, which it usually is, to be fair, week by week. That's what makes it interesting for me, and that's why I'm here. So let's have a look at... I'm looking at my own background. I'm confused. I didn't expect it to start here. Oh no, it's me on the TV. Before we get into it, a word from our sponsor. It's the background Final Fantasy XVI. Nice try, Dodge. Very close. Our sponsor, it's Game On Daily. Website, platform, news aggregation, gaming stuff. In development, but big bold future. So get in there early, have a look at it. Get all your gaming news. It's going to be great in like a year's time, maybe. I don't know. It's good now, but it will be brilliant and huge. And you won't be able to get away from it. So, what's everyone up to? What's everyone been up to for the last 2 weeks? You know how these shows always go. We start off talking about what everyone's been playing, including myself, but what everyone's been playing. And then we move on to the topics for the week. So what we've been playing is nice and easy. We can definitely get through that. I've been playing things, you've been playing things. So that's simple. Although I can't remember what now that I mention it, but a brief bit, welcome Replicant, the brief bit on how the show works. So it's conversational. I rely on all of you talking to me and talking to each other, and that is the chat that feeds the show and makes it run, which is perfect. Whoa, I've got the music too loud for my own good. Should be alright though, should be alright. Dodge, you're learning to code. Where are you learning to code from? I am also like supposed to be learning things, but learning is difficult. Finding time to learn is difficult. I'm very curious about what it is that you're doing though. Conversational. We'll also have at some point in the show the Q&A box will appear, which means that you can leave any questions, burning questions, essential things, questions, jokes, anything but riddles. You stick them in there. If you want to make sure that your comment doesn't get missed, stick it in the Q&A box and we'll address all of those one at a time at the end of the show. Jordan, Berserker this, welcome back. You played Grey Hill Incident. It's certainly a game. It's certainly a game. Well, that's saying something. And you're playing Days Gone at the moment. I saw your clip actually. I saw your Days Gone clip on Twitter with the car randomly appearing in front of your motorbike, which I enjoyed very much. Codes Are Us or Udemy. So you're learning from Udemy. Yes, I'm on Top Chat. Well done. No one's named the game yet, despite it being exceptionally easy. I know you all know what it is because it's one of the only things that I've streamed lately. What kind of code, Dodge? What are you learning? I'm very curious. You're trying to get off the roofs. Tony, you finished Horizon Zero Dawn and you started Detroit Become Human. Painful Discourse got in there first with the background. It is very much the Street Fighter Battle Hub with a few tweaks. I've changed it up a little bit to like non-subtly changed it up a little bit and given myself a few props to hide behind. JavaScript and HTML to start, and then who knows. What's your ambition, Dodge? What are you trying to do? Get off the roofs, basically. That's fair. So, Tony, how did you find Horizon Zero Dawn now that you finished it? And how are you finding Detroit so far? I've played both of those games to completion, so I can discuss things on those. I'm not going to spoil things, but I'll know what you're at and what you're saying. Even though you're a bronzed Adonis. You can code outside in the sun, Dodge. You don't need to lose that. You don't need to lose that. Get a laptop. Do your coding in the garden. Your ambition is to be a sexy Zuckerberg or Bezos. Yeah, reach for the stars. Go for it. Good. Pizza Morning, you tried to launch Starfield many times. Sadly, it isn't available yet. Yeah, you got a little while to wait. So you've pre-ordered it, have you? Got it on your Xbox dashboard, ready to go. Replicant, you played 0 games this week due to your being away with work. I knew that. I know that story. You've been in Croydon, which is it's not doxing you because you're not there anymore. Tom, you played Assetto Corsa and a bit more Yakuza. I think So you're an Assetto Corsa person, you know how those games work. Is the Competition one supposed to be better or worse in present day? Because Assetto Corsa was like quite a simhead game with legs on it that lasted a long time, and they released the sequel, but the sequel back when I checked wasn't as well received, just because it was very toned down in terms of like the scope of the game and all the rest of it. So all of the advances didn't convince people to play that one instead. And I think they're both on offer on Steam this week. So, and obviously being VR compatible, they are racing games that I can touch. So if you are enjoying it and you can tell me which one I should go for, I'd be very interested to know. Although I do like the simplicity of Gran Turismo VR, by just being able to stick a headset on and play with the console kind of experience. Racing games on PC, the VR support can be brilliant, but it's definitely there are more steps, so it's a little bit more cumbersome than console VR. You're doxing yourself now. I'm going to go and hang around your office. There's only one office in East Croydon as far as I know, so I'm going to be there. Tom, you found your Master System 1 whilst clearing the family lock. Do you have the what was Master System? Was it component cables? S-Video, I reckon. No, it's even older. Is it older than SCART? What kind of connection has it got? Can you actually use your Master System on your TV, or do you have to go adapter shopping to give it a go? Tom, you don't know. You only play because that's what your mates play. They all seem to have both, but still play the original Assetto Corsa. I think that's, by and large, that's what the community around Assetto Corsa does. Like, the original one is still the one people go for. I think it's the one that still gets the mods and things as well. So you race competitively with your friends, do you? Do you race on a controller or are you steering wheel? Butch Luffy, that's a name I haven't seen around here. Did me and Gaz plan to go live at the same time? Butch, I will say that I got here a year in advance of him, so it's not my fault. I've been here live every Thursday apart from last week for like a year now. So his decision is his decision, and I am innocent. But if you want to go and see what he's talking about, like, I don't take any offense from that. That is fine by me. So, more games, feed me games. What else have you been playing? Gaz wants to see if he can pull over to his stream. Wow. Shall we have a little look? One moment. This is a little bit mean of me, but I want to see what Gaz is up to. I want like an effort comparison. So, I'm not going to put volume on, but it's just Gaz. Some people love that. Some people love that. You don't worry, Dodge. I'm not going to make you listen. I know you don't want to. By comparison, I spent like a good 2 hours setting up my background today because I'm a mug. I am a mug. What can I say? Why do I do it? I don't know. Maybe I should stop. But look, I did the ray tracing reflections. You see the ray tracing? It's like Street Fighter has the big screen reflects specifically where I put the little fake reflection underneath it. So too much effort. You bet he didn't spend 8 hours on his thumbnail. No, I bet he didn't. Thank you for that. Also, please, 8 hours? No. You're racing an amateur league? Oh my goodness, that's like... Now I'm feeling nervous on your behalf. It's competitive, but all skill levels. As long as you don't drive like a dick, it's all good. But I only know how to drive like a dick. Smash into everything. You're a new viewer, you've been watching the podcast for a few months now since we had Blaze on. You didn't realise that I have my own channel until recently. I keep it secret. It's a very secret space. I mostly use it for, I don't even know what I use it for. Streaming and this show and any little bits and pieces of videos and stuff. They do appear here. But this show, yeah, every Thursday we're here. We just have conversations. So Butch, what have you been playing? You must be watching our show because you like the game. So what have you been up to? Replicant, I don't know what Gaz's like theme is. I think he's excited that Indiana Jones is revealed to be Xbox exclusive during court proceedings today. I don't actually know any more of that story than that. Like I say, I've been quite disconnected from everything. Has my new treadmill arrived yet? Replicant, I love that you're aware of that and I'm not just yelling into the wind. My new treadmill is still on a boat. The boat is due to dock on the 26th of June. And I don't know how I become aware of what time it gets delivered to my door. So it's being ferried over from China. It's going to appear at port. If I go onto the tracking website, it's very much a Chinese tracking website, and if I use the Google Translate feature, it doesn't seem to be able to translate dates very accurately, which means my treadmill is going to turn up at some point, and hopefully I'll happen to be home when it does. A video comparing both treadmills? No. No, I don't make videos. You were trying to figure out your next game. You beat Arkham Knight again. You're playing LA Noire in the meantime. I think I've seen you on Twitter. I've seen someone playing LA Noire, and there can't be that many people currently working through LA Noire. So I reckon I've seen you talking about it. I've never played that. I've got the VR version, which is like a stripped down. It's a subset of the missions that you can do. But detective games, don't know. I haven't really touched many of those. LA Noire is supposed to be a good one though, right? Very advanced facial expression capturing at the time of release, at least. So the sim community in Assetto Corsa is weird. So many rules and arguments if people crash. You prefer Forza Motorsport, it's a bit more chill. So hold on, Isla, I'm going to catch that in a second. You were yelling at me. When you yell too loudly, I lose track of the conversation. I'm going to assume that you said Plants vs Zombies was the game that you were playing all week. So Forza Motorsport gets some criticism for its lack of competitive rules in terms of penalising crashes and stuff. Gran Turismo gets a lot of credit for the way that it handles it, but I don't actually know how it handles it. I've not got as bold and confident as to stray into the online modes yet, because I'm terrible. I don't really have a particular taste in how it would be handled, but I think I would much rather the game handled it rather than the community. Because like you said about Assetto Corsa there, the community like butting heads because they disagree on whose fault a crash was would probably suck a fair amount of fun from it. I'd much rather the game just like dished out blame accordingly, or said it's fair game, smash what you like accordingly. So, Patrick, just the Outer Worlds and Outriders for you. You're only doing out games, so you're gonna be stuck with Outer Wilds next as well. That's another one. Outriders, I'm still at 84% completion because Darge abandoned me at 84% completion. I've still got it installed on the PlayStation, I think, but I'm not sure if I'll be going back to it. Maybe. And Outer Worlds is really good. Doesn't take very long. Lots of fun. Make sure you do engage with whichever companions you want to. It's a good, well-written game. Your scalp hurts because you've been pouring bleach on it. Fair enough. Darge likes to abandon people as his father abandoned him. We know Darge gonna get there ahead of you before you say it. Before you say it. What have I been playing though in the last 2 weeks? I abandoned you. I bloody well didn't. Not on Outriders. Tell me more. What have I been playing? Can you tell me what I've been playing? I've not been streaming as much as I should. Normally, what I've been playing pretty much aligns to what I've been streaming, but I've been off. I've been absent. I've been AWOL, not streaming very much. But I have been playing some games. I've been playing Horizon Forbidden West still, which I thought I was getting near to the end, but it just keeps extending and extending. And I look at the map on that game, and there are so many side quests that I haven't done. And as open world games go, it broadly has pretty good side quests, so I should try and pick up most of them. It's so long. It's so long. You play PlayStation? I've played a bit of PlayStation. I have no friends on PlayStation, so nobody can see. Secret, no, that's not even true. I don't have any friends on PlayStation. I've never really played anything online on it, but I've played quite a bit of Horizon Forbidden West, which I still really like. It's one of my favorite games of this console generation. I don't typically work in generations because I play a lot of PC and VR, so generations don't really apply there, but I like Horizon Forbidden West. I've been playing, I went back to the Ascent yesterday on the PC, which was very fun indeed. I like the Ascent. Still haven't finished it. What else have I been playing? I don't know. Loads of stuff, probably. No, that's definitely not it for the last 2 weeks, but those are the only two games that are like popping up in my ear. So nobody's PlayStation has a very toxic community online. Don't know about that. Like, I don't know if there's still a difference between them or not. There was a time when the Xbox 360 came out, it had a headset in the box, which made a massive difference because like with a headset in a box, everybody was talking. And the PlayStation 3 had a terrible online system. It didn't ship with a headset. So if you did go online with it, there was no good party system. There was no party chat, but there was also almost nobody talking. And that kind of community legacy carried on a little bit with the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One, and that the communities felt pretty different. Can I lower the music volume? Yeah, I can lower the music volume. And I apologize for it being so loud. It is quite a Larry soundtrack in that game. Like it is it gets you in the ears on purpose. Replicant Diablo 4, yeah, a little bit. I'm still not liking it as much as Diablo 3, which is the backwards opinion, right? I'm not supposed to have that opinion, but I can't help it. You didn't know it was loud. It's like audio balance is a tricky thing because it very much depends on how you're listening, whether you got headphones, whether you got speakers, and all the rest of it. So, and some I've got meters that tell me how loud everything is, and I know ballpark where audio should be, but some sounds penetrate more than others. So it's not like it's not an exact science on the number. At the moment, we're at about minus 30 decibels, not on the meters. Does that make sense? How can you have minus volume? Whatever. It's about 30 decibels below my voice is the idea. Kratos, welcome. What have you been playing? Tom, if a racer can do that, you're all up for it. You're not sure the PC sim community see any as good at enforcing rules itself yet. You've not played GT Online for years. So, yeah, so obviously the PC simming community it gets very serious there sometimes. So I don't know if they would accept the console version of it either. Painful Discourse, you booted up Redfall and you think it's 60 frames per second on console? So now about that, that's a bit extreme for them to not even tell people. Maybe they just wanted to tell people, but Microsoft are desperate to keep that game out of the positive news waves that they're riding at the moment. That would make sense. You get paid in compliments. Do I like your thumbnail? I can't see your thumbnail, but I did like it, but Sonic confused me and it made me, because I've not been paying attention, so I don't know what Sonic's been up to this week. So your thumbnail has raised questions. I'm like, it's Sonic thing today. And actually I've got the Nintendo YouTube page open right now and I can see the Sonic Superstars was featured in Nintendo Direct. So that's going to be it, isn't it? Thank you. Yes, I do. I'm very appreciative, and it gave me the time to make this stupid background that I did. We'll talk a bit about Nintendo Direct. I have not watched Nintendo Direct. Usually in these things they have loads of games that actually look really appealing to me until they show and they look like Nintendo games. So there's probably some stuff in there that's good. I'm going to be relying on you to tell me though. John Rocks, welcome. You finally platinumed Beat Saber for the second time. You had to tell someone who might be interested. So what do you have to do for the platinum on Beat Saber? So I've only played Beat Saber on like PC, where achievements and trophies were irrelevant. Like they might be in there. Steam probably has achievements, but I never pay attention to Steam achievements. What do you have to do? What mode of difficulty do you have to inflict on yourself? I'm curious about that frame rate, by the way, Painful Discourse. So not curious enough to download it on the Xbox and find out, but retweets appreciated. Yes, if you could retweet it, let people know we're here having conversations about games. Like I say, if you're joining late and you didn't catch this at the start, I've been very disengaged from the news cycle for a week. Very disengaged, not paying much attention to anything, which isn't true. Like I'm sure I've passively absorbed quite a lot, but I am relying on you to tell me what's interesting to talk about. We'll take it from there. Kratos, you got back into Jedi Fallen Order. Fallen Order? Is that the new one? That's the old one. Fallen Order's the first Cal Kestis game, isn't it? Are you planning to go straight on to Jedi Survivor when you finished it? Or did you do Jedi Survivor and then go backwards? And you're hooked on Pixel Cross on the Nintendo Switch? Never heard of it. Never heard of it. I'm sure it's brilliant though. I do still have a Nintendo Switch around somewhere. And I do still hope that... So Ubisoft said something in the week about Nintendo had advised them to hold off their Mario and Rabbids game, their Spark of Hope one. They'd been advised to hold it off until the launch of the new console. which means it must be like there or thereabouts, like imminent, ready to launch, ready to develop for, and must be shooting along the same lines as the Switch if they were advising to hold that game. So that's kind of interesting. Thank you, Patrick, for the retweet. The SS rank on expert was the toughest trophy for you. You're not getting any younger. Can you do any song that you like for that? So for those that don't know, Beat Saber, when you get to the really high difficulties, you need fast wrists. You can't be having any arthritis if you want to have a chance on that. The blocks come fast. Who was it that said the Q&A thing messes them up? Can't remember. Me, the Q&A thing messes me up if I accidentally click on any of them. But that's because I'm getting my chat through the OBS dock. You're going to wait till the second Jedi will be dirt cheap, just like how you bought this copy. I'm a big fan. This is one of the things that I found this week is like disengaging from the news cycle and stuff. If I weren't doing podcasts and things, that's how I would live. I would definitely disengage from it. Pick up games that are like cheap and patched and working. And Final Fantasy XVI is a good example. I know that if I wait, it'll be better. It's definitely not going to be worse. It'll be better, it'll be cheaper. Do I need to get it now just because everyone's talking about it? I don't know, because I'm supposed to talk about it. Makes things a little bit difficult. But you're doing it right by waiting for sales and stuff. There are so many games, and single player games do not get worse over time. Ah, that's me in the background. Gross. It might be a bug. Nothing about 60 frames per second. It might be a bug. But you see a lot more pop-in and level of details loading. It's really weird. Curious. You're working on your backlog when you don't get hooked on certain games like Call of Duty. Call of Duty I can do without, because I just can't. My brain can't handle camouflage. I'd be a terrible like real life soldier. Be like, everyone, please, can we have the teams wearing high vis vests? Or I just don't know what I'm shooting at. Fortunately, I never actually need to shoot at a real person. Not just because I'd be bad at it, but because that would be an awful thing to experience. So Call of Duty is also an awful thing to experience. Not on the same scale or scope, but not a game for me. That's the video you edited. Yeah, there's a selection of things in the background. Throwing eggs in this economy. I heard that eggs were supposed to be really expensive at some point over the like recent weeks, which makes them more delicious, does it? I don't know. I have a massive backlog of games that will always be there. Isn't it difficult? Just like getting these vague ideas of a thing I fancy playing and or streaming. Like, oh, I could stream that, I could stream that, I could stream that. And then you're like, oh, when the fuck am I going to fit Red Dead Redemption 2 into a stream or something? It's like a billion hours. Connor and RWK, welcome. What have you been playing? We're still on the what have we been playing section, which is the majority of the show today because I don't know what else is going on. I'm sure I've been playing more than the games that I said. And yes, you can have bonus points if you can identify what's going on in the videos in the background. Or which video it is. The Resident Evil 4 remake. I'm waiting on the VR. Oh, that's another thing I need to get back to. I'm still like 10 minutes into Resident Evil 7 in VR. Then I've got the whole of 8 to play. Probably 8 before 4. There's a lot of Resident Evil to play. When I do get my replacement treadmill, there will be a lot of VR. Tony, I type with all of my fingers. I wonder if I ever type with my thumb. Yeah, probably the space bar. Yeah, type with all of my fingers. Thank you, Tony, for your contribution there. Yes. Patrick, you can't think of anything newsworthy happening all week. I bet there has been. So, while RWK and Connor are thinking about what they've been playing, ready to tell me. No, RWK already has. Resident Evil 4. Connor, it's on you. Need to know what you've been playing. While Connor's thinking about that, have a think about Nintendo Direct for me. Did anybody... First of all, did you watch Nintendo Direct? And second, did you see anything you liked in Nintendo Direct? Is there anything that you would like point me at and say, hey, I reckon you would like this game? Because that would be interesting for me. Kratos No. I have no other means of typing. Played a bit of Infection on Halo. So yeah, Halo Season 4 came out, didn't it? And how's that? It's very difficult to get back into Halo for me. Despite the fact that if I was going to play a competitive shooter, Halo is probably still quite high on my list. For the same reason that I don't like Call of Duty, because they're not high-vis. In Halo, I can put high-vis vests on everyone. And that means that it's a game where I can see who I'm supposed to shoot. And I appreciate that. This is very much a me thing, though. I've said before, but it applies for like in real life as well as games. I cannot play... I can't play sports like football or soccer. I cannot play unless the teams are really clearly marked in distinct colours, which obviously they are in like high-level football. But if you're going for a kickabout and everyone's just wearing their own stuff, it takes me so long to process like who's on my team and who isn't. When I say so long, I mean like seconds, but you don't have seconds in sports or in Twitch shooting games. I used to play an awful lot of Quake 3, and I'd make all of my opponents were Illuminous green, because you could dictate that. They were all Illuminous green, and I was good at that. Shirts versus skins, see, I could work with that, Patrick, but it's not something that no. Mostly playing with the oldies, and they don't want to be doing that. Kratos, you're going to pick up the 2 Mario games for your nephew, and hopefully you can borrow some of the older Mario games that you purchased years back. So I am still of the opinion that Mario doesn't belong in this century. Let's have a look at the Mario games that were shown at Nintendo Direct. So what I'll do, I'll bring the whole... Shall I bring the whole thing up? Yeah, I'll bring the whole thing up. Here it is, which is like Nintendo Direct playlist. We're going to work through them. We're not going to watch all of them. The Hidden Treasure of Area Zero DLC for Pokemon Scarlet. Nobody cares about that, do they? Nope. Sonic Superstars. We'll have a little look. Is this the... I know what this is. This is the one from the Balan Wonderworld developers, right? Video... What? Oh yeah, of course it does. I put effort into these things. Chudley will obscure the bottom corner of the video because she's real. So yeah, this is Sonic. Like 2D Sonic, I preferred over 2D Mario. 2D, like I don't like platformers is the theory. The reality is I don't like 3D platformers. I actually have a lot of time and stuff for 2D platformers, except that... Why is there so many Sonic? They're like, I'm not unhappy that gaming evolved kind of past this point. So I'm very unlikely to touch this, much as Sonic is like a big part of my childhood. Games just like, they don't need to be this anymore. Doesn't mean that there's no place for it. Some people love it, I'm sure. Okay, so that was Sonic. Wasn't that delicious? I've forgotten how PC works. Let's hide it. Tony, Connor, you've not been playing Hunt. Riley, you want to show your Sonic loot? I can't. Do you know what? This might go horribly wrong. I'm going to try and get Discord set up. So normally, this is an element of the show that doesn't get much traction, which is the Discord thing. No, Discord's being a prick. So normally on this show, I invite people to come onto Discord and ask a question or say a bit, or just talk to people for a couple of minutes. Because why not, eh? But today, Discord is not logged in, and Discord is a pain in the ass once it's logged you out. If you've got two-factor authentication, I can't remember what authenticator I need to use. So Discord is unavailable this week only. But that's fine. Nobody comes on it anyway. It's neat though. I have it set up really well when people do want to come and talk. So next week, if you want to come and talk, I'll try and make sure it's available again. Right, back to trailers. Nintendo Direct stuff for a little bit. Nintendo Direct has... What's Palia? Is that worth looking at? That's the Pokemon with guns thing, right? That's how they self-describe their own game. Oh, really quickly. Don't like it. got fishing, and it's multiplayer, and it's got bow and arrow stuff and crafting. That's enough of that one. See, Persona 5 Tactica. Do we have any big Persona fans here? Metroid 4 still missing in action. Yeah, Replicant. That's been like a lot of people have been waiting that for a very long time. Very long time. I wonder if you could live stream yourself and I can watch it like I did Kaz. Like, yeah, that would be possible. That would be possible. Funnily enough, some chat on Discourse today. Beg your pardon, Peter. Some chat on Discourse today, new user. Oh, you've just got Discord, I'm assuming that means. Nintendo Switch 2 missing in action. That's the one that everybody wants. Oh, wow, I say everybody wants. Obviously, a lot of people are very happy with their Switches. I very much want something new from Nintendo that will play these games on my TV nicely. Yeah. Wait, why is that still open? Go away, thing. So they've got some stuff for Splatoon, they've got Myth Force. Now I can't do this, I can't do the whole Nintendo things. Detective Pikachu returns, that's an Isla thing. Isla, is Detective Pikachu good? How does Detective work? How does Detective work in Detective Pikachu? How does it work? Because I've played lots of detective games or games that have like detective elements, like the Gotham Knights one had some terrible detective elements. And they seem to have a tendency to have you gather arbitrary clues and then like draw lines between them, and it tells you if that is supposed to reveal more information or not, and that's a shit mechanic. But I don't know that that's what Detective Pikachu is. What does Detective Pikachu do? John Rocks, you're more a main game Persona fan, so you do like Persona. Like Japanese RPGs are funny because there's two primary genres of Japanese RPG, and almost all of them fall into one or the other. You've got like there's a deity, a god of some kind that has been like an evil one that's been sealed away, and there are some antagonists in the world that are trying to set them free, like break the seal and set this deity free to destroy the world and unleash chaos. And invariably the antagonists succeed towards the end of the game, and you have to go and fight the deity at the end. That's genre 1, like sub-genre 1 of Japanese RPGs. And sub-genre 2 is you're in a Japanese high school. And I don't like sub-genre 2. And Persona very much fits in sub-genre 2. I'm sure there's some overlap. I'm sure sometimes you're in a Japanese high school and there's a sealed away deity. But no. Do I remember I gave you Dark Side Detective? I do not remember. That was a Humble Bundle thing, right? Playing for Discourse, no fishing in Starfield. 1 out of 10, not playing now. I hate fishing mini games in all games. But don't you worry, the mod community will definitely add fishing to Starfield in very short order. Dragon Quest is one of your favourite series of JRPG. Replicant, where does Dragon Quest fall? Because they've had so many, they must have had some variation in the stories by now, right? I've not played any Dragon Quest games all the way through. I played the most recent one. I played, is it 11? A bit. And I played some of the Musu ones, right? Spin-offs of that series. Final Fantasy 15 had finishing. Okay, Tony. Had fishing because it's for weebs. Like, so many games have fishing as a mini game, and it's just like, don't make me do it. Don't make me do it. Don't hide any good rewards behind fishing. I'm not touching it. Replicant, I need to know which school, because Dragon Quest doesn't go into the high school side of things, does it? So it must have, like, most of the games probably have an ancient sealed away deity. And then of course there's Final Fantasy 16 with its Game of Thrones inspiration. Should we talk about Final Fantasy 16, or shall we watch Street Fighter in the background? I mean, shall we look at Nintendo Direct? Don't ask, Tom, don't ask. This is the life of Tony. 11 is the latest, but 12 is announced. So 11 I played for probably 10 hours or so. And it was okay, but I did some of the puff, and I think I was supposed to do some horse racing or something next, and I got off of it, and then I think it came off of Game Pass, and I think it's still on PlayStation Plus, but I haven't picked it up again. Do I have high hopes for Starfield, or do I think it would just be a decent game with a certain amount of fan base due to the sci-fi? I have high hopes for Starfield. My hopes are obviously quite specific in that I really hope that I can play it in VR very soon after launch. But even without VR, I do expect it to be something of a game. I'll tell you a little secret, shameful secret. I have never seen the ending of a Bethesda game, I don't think. Is that true? And when I say Bethesda game, I mean like the Skyrims and the Fallouts, like Elder Scrolls and Fallout series. Don't think I've ever seen an ending for one of those. I might have seen an ending for Oblivion, actually. Might have seen, depending on whether the Shimmering Isles thing was before or after the end of the game. No, I probably did see the end of Oblivion. I'm a liar and a fraud. So I've very rarely seen the end Bethesda games. Persona occasionally gets a little kinky, which makes you chuckle. John Rocks, it makes me uncomfortable. Like all of the relationship stuff in these games is like, no, I don't want to romance Japanese high school students. These are the uncomfortable subgenre of Japanese RPG. So, no, give me a sealed away deity that inevitably breaks free at the end. A 24-hour Q&A, sir. Wonder if you'd be invited on. I beg your pardon, Dodge. I don't... You mean a Q&A special where I invite guests? Of course. In fact, Dodge, I'll tell you what I can do for you. If you want to come onto one of the Thursday ones, if you're feeling like you want to be seen by the world, that can be arranged. I need to mix up the format for this anyway, so I can start having, like, not every week, but the occasional guests. Sure. Connor mentioned it before as well. You want to see Darge on. There you go. The people have spoken. Well, Patrick's spoken, but Patrick represents the people. You chuckle when you're uncomfortable. Yeah. And Persona, obviously, Persona 5 has a massive amount of style about it. I enjoyed elements of it, but it also has way too much, like, now spend 6 months at school doing school stuff. Go to the library. Do you want to go to the library, or do you want to go to the arcade, or do you want to go to the coffee shop? I don't want to do any of those things, so I got bored. I liked the first castle or whatever it's called, but once the game opened up properly, nah. You do think you speak for every person in the universe. I'm happy for you to do that, Patrick. Although I do remember, what was the thing that I said? The one time I decided I'm going to be a little bit trolly on Twitter, I said, I claim to speak for every Xbox fan. I can't remember what it was. I was probably like speaking for every Xbox fan demanding on virtual reality or something like that. But I know full well that the Xbox fans will react to. Oh, the notifications, they went on for hours and days. Probably still going on now. I have regrets. Bob Ross episode overlaid with dark ambient is really dumb. Wow. That was a messy day. Connor, when are we playing Hunt Showdown on PC? Can't you come and meet us in like a better game? Maybe though, Connor. Maybe though. Dodge, do you play that? Do you play Hunt Showdown as well? Can we do a 3-person one? You still need to get back to Diablo. Yeah, me too. Diablo's got a ray tracing update coming in the near future. For the PC version, at least. Connor bought you Hunt Showdown. How do you find it? Have you played it with Connor in return? And do you enjoy it? The audio is interesting. I can't... It's like... It's a multiplayer game that leans quite heavily into stealth. Like, intuitively leans into stealth. So I'm really bad at it. Ah, you haven't played it yet. You're waiting. Yeah, let's arrange to do that at some point if I'm still invited. Connor, we'll get the 3 of us. We'll play some Hunt Showdown. We'll stream it and record it. And you can try and carry the team to victory while I make loud noises and probably set fire to Darge. Hunt's not crossplay. As far as I know, anyway. Connor's the expert on that particular game. What else is there? So more Nintendo stuff. I haven't got to the Mario bits yet. Did anybody tell me how Detective Pikachu works? If not, we have to watch it, I'm afraid. Detective Pikachu. I already hate it. It's ugly as... No, I'm not gonna go that direction. This is an ugly game. This is like not even Switch standard, surely. Pikachu does some things. Eats something. Has something on it. I hate it, but just tell me how the detective, like the core gameplay is. Oh, that's so ugly. I can't look at it anymore. So that's Detective Pikachu. Are we looking forward to it? No, we're not. Darge, Nintendo had Nintendo Direct, and I was assured by people on the Twitter that that it was a really good show. You really want to upgrade your GPU for Starfield, or so that you can play it in VR. You need a beast machine to play it in VR. Make as much noise as you want. Thank you, Connor. And set fire to my teammates as much as I want, right? Yeah. We missed out not having Ryan Reynolds reprise his role. In what? What was he in? Is this a Nintendo thing? Tony, how are you finding your 4090? What have you done to push it and find out what it can do? What did you upgrade from? What did you have before you got your 4090? I cannot remember. I saw your picture of it fitting very snugly in your case. You have a gigantic PC case. So you were well prepared. Peter, you have to say that your absolute love for Starfield is only diluted a small degree, that you can't share the gaming with others. Totally solo. Still awesome. Yeah. It would be a thing, wouldn't it? I think it's like having some games be single player is great though. Maybe the mysterious sci-fi RPG that ZeniMax Online or ZeniMax Media, ZeniMax Online, whatever they're called, are working on will be Starfield related. I've kind of suspected that for a long time, but we shall see. You're not bothered how you play. Fun is greater than stealth. Yes, most things are greater than stealth, to be fair. I think stepping on thorns probably better than stealth. The Pikachu movie was the only Pokemon thing that you liked. Good. I've heard or I've seen that is a well-rated movie. Oh, you're missing some shit. I didn't pay attention. I didn't see it happening, but there's a trailer playing right now for some bollocks. Like, people will pretend that I'm supposed to be interested in this. It's the Mario RPG, and I don't care. I like a Japanese RPG, but I have so many to play that don't include Mario. One of the things that like Japanese RPGs with their turn-based mechanics and whatever, it's not the moment-to-moment gameplay that particularly is the main hook. Like, you can grind and the combat is kind of interesting, but they are always driven by a good story, and a Mario game cannot have a good story, so I don't care. There is nothing that this game, like, or anybody can do to convince me that I want to play it. Sorry, but that's just me, because I don't like Mario. Maybe you've played the original and you love it. Lua, did I know that you can play real life in VR? No headset required. Yeah, but I get in trouble when I smash stuff. Lua, I really like in VR. If you've ever seen any of my VR, I like to pick things up and throw them at people, or I like to pick people up and throw them at things. And I find when you do that in real life, it's like it's frowned upon. It's frowned upon. So the headset has its place. I missed something. So, is there Minesweeper VR? Dodge Minesweeper. Sure, why not? Why not? I've seen that you can play Street Fighter 6 in VR and it's supposed to be quite neat. Might give that a go at some point. So if Hunt Showdown had a VR mode, would it would it be my game of the decade? Probably. I love the VR stuff. What do you mean I'm full of shit, Dodge? How dare you? How dare you? Show the clip. What clip am I showing, Tony? The Street Fighter 6 one. So you've seen it too, eh? No, I'm going to save that. I'm going to set it up. Going to do some research so that I can play it myself. And you will all pretend that it's my original thought. VR is a dead format. Oh, Dad, you can't upset me with your trolling. Minesweep. So Minesweeper, you're talking literally though the one where you have a number that tells you how many mines are in the surrounding blocks, right? You're looking forwards in your headset? What are you going for, Lua? I still, mate, obviously I really enjoy the VR stuff and I will not stop saying that I enjoy it. I know it's not for everyone and that's just fine, but I have a new treadmill coming in a week and when that arrives I'm going to play so much VR. Nobody can stop me. Not even the sun. And the sun makes a good case for not playing in VR. Chocolate, strawberry or banana milkshake, which one are you choosing? Usually banana, Connor. Usually banana. Followed by chocolate. Strawberry would be my last choice there. But I very rarely have milkshake. VR was never properly brought to life. It can't be dead. Hope someone gives it the much needed IVF. It's I've seen some conversations there because Matt Booty at Xbox Studio, head of all of the Xbox studios, was talking about VR and AR and said he said that their games, in order for like an Xbox game to be considered successful, it has to reach about 10 million people. And virtual reality and augmented reality aren't there. They aren't at that scale yet, so they're not worth Microsoft supporting. Which is a dick thing to say. He's a dick. They'll get to those numbers faster if they let me play Forza Horizon 5 in virtual reality and Starfield in virtual reality. Don't just wait for other people to do it. Don't say, well, the audience isn't big enough yet, so we're going to wait for Sony and Capcom to invest in it. Fuck you. What a dick. That's why nobody likes him, because of his take on VR. Luap, Street Fighter 6. I stream and openly challenge people on Street Fighter 6 fairly regularly. Or at least I have been. Am I recording the show today? Unfortunately, I forgot. I'm recording it in this format. I'm recording it with the separate audio tracks and things. But I didn't record me separately. I have that power and I do not wield it. If something needs bringing to life, it needs good dick investment. Tom, I'm not sure if that's a typo or what you want Matt Booty to be doing to the VR headsets, but I just want them to put some money into it. Some games that I can play. Connor, don't get VR for that purpose. Or any other kind of video content. Video content in VR is not good. It's not what VR is. You were mentally scarred by Street Fighter 6. You're still having nightmares. Nah, Replicant, you'll get that win next time. You'll get that win next time. Pretty sure he spunks money. Nonetheless, Tom, he can keep No, I can't. Can't entertain that. But yes, Connor, get VR. Get it for whatever you want, and then I'll make you play games with me. My plan is to do... I always have stupid plans. My plan is to do a lot more VR, though. Play some of the social ones, not necessarily on stream, because communications might get a little bit complicated, but make something of those. Tom. No, Connor, VR, I mean, it depends. If you want, like, the pinnacle of games, even if it's for short periods of time, then, you know, VR is there calling to you, offering you the best of the best. But it is effort compared to just sitting down and playing a controller game. Matt Booty should talk to Todd Howard. Why should Matt Booty talk to Todd Howard? Bethesda. This is the funny thing about, like, we're not talking about ABK ever because it's boring as shit. But if the FTC or the CMA or any of these other organizations had considered VR as a nascent market rather than cloud gaming as a nascent market, oh, it would have been a spicy conversation. Would have been a mess because Microsoft have not done any favors to virtual reality by acquiring all the studios that enjoyed making games for it or supported it, including Activision, funnily enough. You'll never guess what you played on Xbox last night. Connor, you played on Xbox last night. I'm just opening up the Xbox app and looking at your achievements. You played on Xbox Battlefield Bad Company. No, Connor, I won't guess. What did you play on Xbox last night? I just had a crack at Spider-Man 2. As in old Spider-Man, like the Activision game. Halo Infinite? Connor, you swore you'd never go back. I should have guessed that. So, you have been enticed by Season 4. And you liked it. Why did you like it? Why did you like it? Tell me more. Luap, you kick in the chair and pull up next to me. What have I to say now? Let's get some gameplay. What does that mean? What? I don't understand. If someone sits next to me in real life, I don't say anything. Yeah, no, I'm probably not the most talkative in that situation, but if you want to play some games, absolutely. If you want to play like the stuff that I stream, when I stream multiplayer stuff, you're very welcome to, including Street Fighter 6. This is definitely Q&Acer 49. Isla, if you're looking at episodes of Q&Acer, do me a favor and look at episode 1, see what date it was. Because I can't remember, but if we're on to 49 episodes and I know that I've missed a few, then we're probably pretty damn close to a 1-year anniversary for doing this, right? Which means it's time to stop. Tom, you're 40 and there's still a vague tickle at the bottom of your right testicle. Why? Why do I read these things? I couldn't stop after it started, though. Find out who it is, Tom. June the 2nd. The first one was June the 2nd. So we're well over the 1 year. So Connor, it just feels nice to have a leveling system and more maps than you can count thanks to the Forgers. So the Forgers maps, what modes do you get to play on them? Like, are they actually good? And does the leveling stuff all apply to the Forge maps as well? You guess for the 1 year mark you'll come on as co-host. Patrick, we missed it. It was 3 weeks ago. 3 weeks ago. I've done this for a year. The number of hours that means I sunk into doing stuff like these backgrounds. But the ray tracing. the screen space reflections. I'm an idiot. I'm an idiot. On the 2-year mark, I wasn't like necessarily planning to get to episode 50, but painful discourse. You gotta be more subtle than that. Do a belated 1-year anniversary Q&A. Dad, you're going to be long gone because you'll be off coding. You'll be taking your JavaScript and HTML knowledge and forging a new universe. Good. I don't... Right. There are forge maps in rotation of playlist. So the forge maps that are in the rotation for the playlist con, are they like vetted? Are they forge maps that 343 have selected because they're good? Or could I go and make a forge map that looks awful, is awful, plays awful, and get it in the rotation somehow? Uh-oh. I'm so spiteful. Yeah, I am. Spiteful and losing my voice a little bit, which is weird. Was there any more Nintendo? Yeah, of course there's more Nintendo. I'm doing a terrible job of running through the topics, but at the same time I'm doing a really good job of running through the topics because there weren't any topics for today. I did warn you. I have not been paying attention. There's DLC for Mario and Rabbids, Spark of whatever. Dragon Quest Monsters, that's interesting. Dragon Quest is a more interesting IP, right? Oh no, it looks wank. Oh, Nintendo. Please release new hardware. Oh no. It's weird because I can quite happily go back and play a game from the 90s and have a good time and it's fine. I can play old stuff. So the fact that it looks wank isn't like a deal breaker in theory. But it's just rude. It's not the 90s. Give me something that looks like it's from 2023. Bastards. Anyway. FTC will most likely be thrown out. Thrown out? Sounds aggressive. Which is fine. I think we can all agree that gaming discourse will be more interesting once that deal is done and dusted. Whichever way it goes. It's boring. Dodge, you're going to have some hair. So, Dragon Quest Monsters, The Dark Prince, has not caught my attention. I don't think any of you like Nintendo, do you? Nobody's shouted like the best Nintendo games that I should pay attention to. Nobody said, oh, this was really exciting, you should look at any single game from the entirety of the Nintendo Direct. Let's have a look at Pikmin 4 though. That was like the big one, right? One of the last Switch games that they're making. I've not played Pikmin. Oh my goodness, look at the floor. How crap does that look? Like, you might be thinking, oh, this is just terrible compression on the stream. But no, it looks like arse. I wonder if it actually... Maybe I'll be blown away if I see it without YouTube compression. So there's a dog thing. There's a terrible looking baby in a astronaut costume. There's... Oh, I don't want to say a submarine. That's not appropriate. There's the Pikmin themselves. Signature things. You move around. It looks like arse. It's a garden of generic color palette and arse textures. And then you make the Pikmin do the stuff and your character looks like a dickhead. So, that's Pikmin 4. Have I sold it to you? Is it a dog? Is it a bee? Is it furry? Is it rough? Who knows? Because it looks like arse. But at least you can break stuff and the water doesn't look bad. Are we EGXing? I don't know, Dodge. I don't know. The idea of doing things is haunting at the moment. When is EGX? And what about Gamescom? That's the other one that's on the horizon. Pikmin looks like every now and again it looks okay, and other times it just looks plain arse. I'm surprised by the drab color palette. No, if you haven't got quality visuals, if you haven't got the hardware to give good textures and stuff, then you go for some stylization and nice colors, but they haven't really done that. So it just looks arse. Last EGX you went to was 2019. Seems to have been a bit pants since COVID. It definitely, the ones that we've been to have definitely been like, eee. Oh no, that's Discord. Discord doesn't work. That's enough Pikmin, right? That's enough Pikmin. So, that was the highlight of Nintendo Direct. There's some Metal Gear stuff, not for me. It's the remaster. Vampire Survivors is coming to Nintendo Switch. Makes sense. There's a rhythm game. There's a fucking Mario Kart 8 was there with more courses. Star Ocean, that might be worth looking at. Star Ocean's like set in space, so that's not a high school. We went in 2021. I've definitely been to it twice. Star Ocean is doing the weird art thing. No, it's doing a mix. So the characters are doing the pixel art thing, but the environment's not entirely. Star Ocean is on the list of potential because it might be a mystery third genre of Japanese RPG that is not high school and is not necessarily sealed away deity, but it's probably just sealed away deity. I have now run out of port. Fortunately, I came prepared with some cherry rum. Okay, so for me, from the Nintendo Direct so far, the remake of an old Star Ocean game is the highlight. Best thing at Nintendo Direct. Do we have any dissenting opinions? Did anybody enjoy something else from Nintendo Direct more than that? For the sake of balance, I will let the trailer for Mario Wonder play. Yes, Mario, he should be dead. He should not exist in this century at all. Sure can jump high though. It's a deity sealed away in a high school. Plot twist. Yeah. But it's in space. It can't be. They don't have high schools in space. Alright, that's Nintendo Direct done. This is Mario. Mario has some okay things going on. I would say from what I've seen, this is controversial. I think Mario Wonder looks more creative than the Sonic game. Sonic Superstars or whatever it was called. It probably looks like it will be better than that. But still shit. My favorite 2D platformer. There's a question. If you like 2D platformers, do you like 2D platformers and what's your favorite? My favorite 2D platformer is Rayman Legends. Has anybody played Rayman Legends? There's like a slew of questions there. There were 3 of them. Give me answers. I need your answers. I need to know who plays 2D platformers. Which ones are the best? Yeah, that's what I need to know. Bubble Bobble. Fair enough. And that's like very ancient. Did they do any like modernized Bubble Bobble? My light's gone off. I forgot to plug it in. Am I dark? Who cares? We're nearly done anyway. You were thinking about Bubble Bobble again recently. I'm going to plug this light in. It might flash and be really annoying when I do. So the light that I have over there is plugged into the PlayStation 5, but I used the cable to charge up the controller. So it all went wrong. Rayman Legends is a great game, but tough. Is it tough? I don't remember. I don't play that many 2D games. Does Nights into Dreams count? Not as a platformer, no. Gonna disregard your suggestion of Nights into Dreams. I didn't particularly like Nights into Dreams. Obviously, like, massive respect to them for essentially inventing analog controls. Like, Nights into Dreams was the reason that we got the eye controller on the Dreamcast that evolved to become analog sticks that we have on all of the controllers now. So I like it in that sense, in that it gave us a new degree of freedom and control, but as a game they were a bit shy. Very nice of Sega to give the free version, the Christmas Nights into Dreams though. Have I played any of the Donkey Kong Country games? I did play... did I play Donkey Kong Country? What platform? I've played some of the Donkey Kong 2D games a long time ago. Which ones were Country? What system did the first Donkey Kong Country come out on? I seem to recall the one that I did play being like decent, but only decent. Not as good as Rayman Legends. Rayman Legends like modernized it and kind of blew my mind a little bit. Yeah, the SNES one. So yeah, I did play that. I played Donkey Kong Country on the SNES. So it's not very fair for me to compare that to Rayman Legends, because Legends was obviously way more recent. But if you never played Legends, it might surprise you. It's been free on just about everything, so you should play it. But as 2D platformers go, it does stuff that other ones don't. It's really, really good with its musical levels. Which might sound basic, but it's not. Noise culture, what? Apparently you can get it on Switch, but local co-op only. Isla, is that Bubble Bobble or is that Donkey Kong Country? And also, who would you want to play Bubble Bobble with? That's Bubble Bobble. So you can get Bubble Bobble on the Switch. I swear they did. I swear there was a modernized, though, like a more recent Bubble Bobble. They did something with it at some point in the last few years. Maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe I'm just making stuff up. But that's fine. Other people make stuff up and like serves them well enough. So why not? Why not? Art of Dark. Stop saying confusing things. No, by all means, talk. I don't know what's going on there, but carry on. Their stuff has been your passion for years. Well, now I need to know, because I thought your passion was Hunter Chicken. Hunter's Chicken? Hunter Chicken, you know, the stuff you cook. Nights into Dreams was your passion. No, I'm missing something for sure. Something at the O2, some kind of music. I don't know, I can't quite pick up that thread of conversation. Art of Dark, that's a music, is it? Darge loves it. Oh, there's a romance blossoming here. Tom does a mean Hunter's Chicken, right? He's been perfecting the recipe over recent weeks, but next question. No, we haven't got to that point. We're not on the questions. We're going to move on to the questions very soon, and I think I'm going to disappear off and play some games afterwards. But what's just happened? Shit, something's gone wrong. No, we're okay. We're okay. I think we're okay. Gonna pretend we are. It's fine. Am I sure I'm on live chat? Puzzle Bobble VR. Oh yeah, that's true. There was a VR Bubble Bobble game. That is true. That's possibly what I'm thinking of. No, chicken's for eating. You stop it. Ruin the food conversation with your anal bleaching. Bubble Bobble was great. Good. Like 100 years ago. But yeah. If I had to pick my Game of the Year contenders so far, what would I pick? Oh, definitely Hogwarts Legacy and Gollum. The Gollum game. No, I've not played those. I've not played Hogwarts and I've not played Gollum. My games of the year so far there was like a really obvious list, and my cognitive faculties are over there somewhere, like in a different room. I can't remember a single game from this year. Can't remember a single game. Personally, like, I've taken a lot of enjoyment from Street Fighter 6. It's never going to win Game of the Year, but I've enjoyed it a lot. I'll be very surprised if Hades 2 doesn't sit high on the list for me. Obviously, you've got Starfield coming out, which is a very likely contender for it. I'm personally looking forward to Spider-Man 2 a lot, but I'd be surprised if it registers on the Game of the Year charts, despite probably being brilliant. What's the other big one? Tears of the Kingdom. No, it's not that. I don't care about Tears of the Kingdom, which isn't based on any critical feedback. Like, I haven't played it, so maybe if I played it I'd change my mind, but I haven't. What else has been really good this year? I was hoping to really enjoy Diablo 4, but it's swing and a miss for me so far on that one. Hades 2 has to come out this year, right? Has to come out this year because I'm waiting for it. I was a little bit surprised we didn't see it at any of the showcase events just gone by. Diablo 4? Is that your shout for Game of the Year, Darge? Everybody else answer Connor's question. What are the Game of the Year contenders so far? Or if there is a singular winner, what are we looking at? And you can mention Starfield if you want, but I want more than just Starfield as an answer because you haven't played that yet. So what are the best ones so far? Or what will be the best by the time we reach year's end? You're enjoying Diablo 4, you don't have a YouTube channel. But you're a piece of shit, aren't you? You do have a YouTube channel, don't you? Or is it gone again? We don't need more questions in the question box. Don't feel like anybody needs to, because I'm thinking that when this show finishes up, I might stick on the PlayStation VR headset and do a little bit of Gran Turismo to just like, because I haven't for a little while. Peter Morland, 100 years ago, you commissioned the 8-bit conversions of Tato Bubble Bobble for Firebird software, done by the great guys at Graft Gold Software. You commissioned it. What does it mean you did? Tell me more. 100 years ago is obviously an exaggeration, but you were involved in something. You were involved in some capacity with Bubble Bobble for Firebird software. You commissioned as in they got you to do that work for them. You were involved in the conversion. Dodge, like your love, it's dry. Well, that's the same as like my YouTube channel is dry as well. My YouTube channel is dry and I'm here all the time. That's alright, it still counts. You had the license and subbed to Graph. Okay. Okay, I understand. So yeah, you were doing the commissioning rather than like being commissioned to do it. You had the license and you got Graph God to make it for you. So you were involved in publishing back then. My channel is moist and fruitful. Moist, perhaps. Perhaps. I do have, so YouTube changed, or they introduced the lower tier of monetization, like YouTube partner program stuff, which is supposed to be rolling out at the moment that I should be eligible for, which isn't to say that I'm suddenly going to monetize it and you can all throw money at me, but you can if you want. But no, it's not that. But that counts as like, they got bored of waiting for me to see any success and said, right, fine, we'll lower the barrier for entry so that you can feel good about yourself. So that will happen soon. And when is Warhammer 40k painting stream? Connor, I can't paint. I can't paint. I said I'll play Hunt Showdown with you and Darge. You gotta quit while you're ahead. And I say that like I'd probably enjoy painting the Warhammer figurines and it would probably make quite a good stream. It would just be a little bit difficult to set up. Painting would not go well because I'd be doing it like held up in the air where everyone can see it on camera rather than actually doing it in any practical, sensible way. I'm scared of Warhammer in a way, to be honest. The Warhammer world and lore is so big and expansive that I'm scared of what would happen if I like it. Because there's a big history of content to dig into, and that includes like games like the Total War ones, where if you are into the lore, you'd probably spend 3,000 hours playing those, let alone all the rest of them. Originally, your friend just had a free trial of Bubble Bobble on PC, and you just played it over and over and over, as if you could convince it to let you keep going. So what did the free trial include? Like a certain number of levels or something? Dodge, I think it's when you first found anime characters attractive. Ages 12 to 13. Is that you or the anime characters? Anime. And the second genre of JRPG. What's next? Let's do the questions, unless there are any more topics that I missed. Has anything else happened this week that I should be covering here that you want to talk about? Level 99. How long did it take to get to level 99 in a single play of Bubble Bobble? You played Warhammer Chaos Gate. Is Chaos Gate the tactics one, the turn-based, very appealing game? Miasma Chronicles is on sale at the moment. I might need to get that. And Aliens Dark Descent come out like a couple of days ago, yesterday or the day before. That also looked quite interesting. Many games. Connor, we don't put anime in the bin. We laugh at some of the tropes every now and again, but we also respect that there is some brilliant stuff within anime. Some brilliant storytelling available. As well as some weirdness. Little dinosaurs. Okay. 20 to 30 minutes to get to level 99. Okay, fair enough. Speaking of, now that you're reminding me of things being like really, really quick, nobody's got the OST yet. Nobody has managed to identify what games the OST is playing in the background. It is a game that it's one of the few games that I played over the last couple of years that I did not stream. That's a clue. Like, it's a very subtle clue that you probably won't take anything from. But I probably did talk about it on Q&A at some point. They produce Iridium as well. Good. I don't know Iridium, but I believe you that it was famous. It is not Vampire Survivors. What? Did I not stream Vampire Survivors? I bet I did. Dards, it was a good clue. I'm not making it like really easy straight away. It's not a fun clue if it gives you the answer just like that. That was a difficult clue. Octopath Traveler, no, Octopath Traveler has a very... it has a good soundtrack. Octopath Traveler 2 is supposed to have a really good soundtrack, but it just reminded me of another game on my backlog. Fuck's sake. So difficult to play games. So difficult. There's so many that I want to play. And that one's going to take like 100 hours. Oh, why are things so hard? No, Tony, don't get carried away. One of the many Final Fantasy game soundtracks. No, Final Fantasy 16, that was a partial topic. That game's been well received, despite not being very much like a Final Fantasy game. But the one thing that people say was really good about it, like consistently everyone seems to agree is really good about it, is the soundtrack, which is good, because I've spent the last year saying I'm probably going to get Final Fantasy 16, even if it's bad, because Final Fantasy games always have brilliant soundtracks. Apparently that is very much the case for this one, so... I did play Hi-Fi Rush, and I didn't stream Hi-Fi Rush, and this OST is not Hi-Fi Rush. I did play The Ascent, I did stream The Ascent. It's very not Hi-Fi Rush. Replicant, dodgy frame rate, or 720p. Yeah, you can play that game in quality mode at 30 frames per second, or you can play in performance mode, which looks like an afterthought with terrible resolution and inconsistent frame rate. Or I can wait for like a year and play it on the PC. Connor, you don't get to put Final Fantasy as an entire series in the bin. You can pick and choose. You can put some of them in the bin. I'll accept Final Fantasy 15. You can put that in the bin. I'll accept 13, although I might push back a little bit on 13. Put that in the bin. And you can put the online ones in the bin. Now you've made my light flicker. But you can't put the entirety of the series in the bin. That weird cat RPG, you can't... Look at you trying to get me in trouble. I've not played Cat Quest, although I did see... So you've all become recently aware of Cat Quest Pirates of the Caribbean, or whatever it's called. There are 2 prior Cat Quest games on Steam, and both of them are rated overwhelmingly positive. That's like secret, low-key, super franchise that nobody took seriously. But people on Steam love them, apparently. 10 can go in the bin. You didn't like Tidus. I haven't played Stray. I will not be playing Stray anytime ever. It looks lame. Oh, that's the rum. That's strong. No, it's not strong. It's weird. I like it. Needs to go in with some Coke or something though. Okay, cool. Oh, that's quite nice. Cat Dog. I don't actually know what I played with cats in it. I don't recall playing a cat RPG. Or a cat game of any... Oh, no, you're talking about Astria Ascending. I played Astria Ascending that had sexy cat people, right? No, it's not Astria Ascending. Astria Ascending, by the way, not very good. It's like... It dances around the edge of being a good game. It's the sealed deity genre of JRPG. But it seems to almost tell a fairly predictable but kind of interesting story, and it just skirts around the edges of it and never gets interesting. Don't recommend that one. Fresh squeezed lime and ice in the rum. That's probably nice, Tom. This is I got a Father's Day rum. It's a black cherry spiced rum. So it's already got like, I assume lime would still go okay with that. But I like cherry stuff in general, so it was sought out for me especially. Sounds fast-paced with lots of location changes. It does sound fast-paced with lots of location changes, doesn't it? It does indeed. You might say there's quite a scene for seeing just how fast-paced you can get with it. As a bigger clue. Have I had Captain Morgan's Tiki Rum? No, I don't think I have. Sonic Generations? It is not Sonic Generations. Uh-oh, I've given it away now with the overt clues. Yeah. No, that's enough, Arlie. You can have the points for that. You know what it is. That's fine. You've got points, but we'll leave the rest of it. Painful Discourse has got it based on that. Yes, this is Neon White. The game is okay. Got rated really highly. People love Neon White. I would say that Neon White is only a good game if you've got people on your friends list and you want to play high score battles. Without that, it's a bit lame. But with that, it's quite fun. Never played it. I did. This is... Why is it showing me Donut County? That's... Fuck you! It says Neon White gameplay walkthrough for the Nintendo Switch on the official Nintendo channel, and then it shows me a completely different game. Right, here's Neon White. Neon White is like visually quite distinct. It plays very unusually in that you collect cards as you go that give you different abilities and weapons, and you have to mix and match and switch. But what makes it good is that each of the levels, not every single one, but most of them take like between 10 and 30 seconds. So it's all about figuring out the optimal route through. You have to kill all the enemies in the level and get to the kind of goal, as it were, using the limited set of abilities that you've got. And you have to find the correct route and all the shortcuts as best you can, and then run it perfectly to beat Jeff Grubb on the high scores. So, and I think without that element, without the high score element, it's probably not a very good game. But with the high score element, if you've got people on your friends list that are pushing times that are difficult to reach, then it's so snappy, quick and fast that it becomes fun. For some reason you move at double speed if you're on water, which influences the routes that you take around the level. There are lots of different movement abilities that you pick up through those cards, but you have to make sure everything dies. Gameplay walkthrough is not playing it properly whatsoever. They're playing it the slow way. But yeah, it's a game, and it's the reason that I chose Neon White is that it is coming to Xbox and Game Pass in the very near future. So you might have seen the title of it there. And when it comes to Game Pass, I suspect a lot more people that you know will be on the high score charts. Yes, Painful Discourse comes to Game Pass, so you're going to Game Pass comes to Game Pass, so you will try it. Tom's flexing. What we're flexing about? High score battles, yes. People, not many. Your profile was top 100 in the world in Geometry Wars 2 in the 360 days. Well, yeah, I was top 5 on that, which is a bold-faced lie. I was terrible at Geometry Wars. Terrible. I didn't play it much. You need your questions answered first. Wait a minute. What kind of questions? Wait, you're swearing. Your brain's broken. I'm confused. Tom, you're not Darge. It was your girlfriend who got the record. That's what you said on your profile. Oh, your girlfriend was really good at Geometry Wars. And you claimed all the glory. Fair enough. Connor, you're going to head out now. No worries. Thank you for coming in and talking. You're going to read some chapters of Game of Thrones. I saw you saying that it's much better than the TV series. Hopefully that includes the way that it closes off. And pacing of the last books. Is it finished now? Did they finish writing the books? Tom, I'm not surprised. If she's got those Geometry War skills, she can have anyone. So don't take it as an insult. Evening, Nathan. Evening, Nathan. Thank you for coming along. We are getting towards the end. We're going to do the questions now. But if you want to talk about the games that you've been playing, I will take it because I like to hear about that kind of stuff. Nobody here is getting Final Fantasy 16, despite it being beloved or well received, well reviewed. I am personally probably going to wait until the PC release, but R.R. Martin wrote Elden Ring. No, he didn't. Painful Discourse. R.R. Martin said, yeah, you can use my name and from use his initials for the boss names. That's as far as it got. Darge is going to sleep. Good night, Darge. Ryan, whatever you prefer to be. I don't like to say Ryan because I'll wake him up, my son, but Replicant, you've got Final Fantasy 16 downloading just now. Oh, did you play the demo? Nathan, the notification didn't work. You've been playing Green Hell mostly this week because you got it on sale. Green Hell Pancake, not Green Hell VR. See, Green Hell looks okay, but it looks the same as like so many other survival games. I don't know what sets it apart. The VR mode like probably counts for something. You zoned out for a second, that's okay. Wait, Darge, you're so confusing. Last time you wanted to be called Ryan. This time you don't want to be called Ryan. Or you're not going to sleep because you do want to be called Ryan. I don't know what's happening. It's too late for you to say confusing things. Replicant, fine choice not playing the demo. I've not played the demo either. Why play a demo for a game you intend to play? Some people do. I get it. Like, they're eager. The anticipation gets the better of them. They just need it as soon as possible. But betas and demos for games that I've already decided I want to play, I try to avoid. Oh, Darge. Good night. Painful Discourse. He did write the lore for what happened 1,000 years before the game, the Mythos overview. Did he? I'm still not convinced. I know that his name was attached to the game and he was credited as like a producer. And I know that all the bosses have names beginning with like the initials that he uses. G and R and M or whatever. But I'm not convinced that he did anything else. Answer, Isla, you're killing me. What's going on? Oh, I see. Your question is about your hair. Shocking blue or atomic turquoise? Please give me context. To go alongside what color? I'm an expert in colors, so I need to know what you're doing, or I can't possibly select a color without knowing what is sitting alongside. Oh look, there's me playing. What am I playing in that? There's people exploding. Oh, it's Halo. I read from the middle first and then went, nope, not out loud. Or turquoise. You've got electric lizard and you're gonna bung a shade of blue on the roots. I don't know what colour's an electric lizard. It's like, do you know what? I don't know anything about colours and you do, so do shocking blue. Oh yeah, colours are confusing. Do the blue one. Next question, please. Peter, looking forward to Starfield. You'll be honest, it looks so all-engrossing that you really want an easy combat mode so that you can get on with other Starfield chisel. Are you going to try and get to the end, Peter? This is the thing that I'm not sure. When I said earlier that I don't typically get to the end of Bethesda games, are you planning to like go through the story of Starfield, or are you just gonna go, this is Starfield, and just do your own thing for like a decade? Because I think the game is probably going to be open and expansive enough that you could play it for a very long time without ever really pursuing the story. I guess one thing we don't know now is like whether the story will be gripping, whether it will get its hooks into you and make you want to push through to the end. So for me, I fully expect that I'll just get lost, particularly if I do get my VR mod. If I get the VR mod, I'm not even going to be looking to complete the game. I'll just want to mess around there for years and years and years. Replicant, you haven't liked one Bethesda game. Which ones have you played? Or what is it about them that you don't like? Because I can understand, like, particularly the combat and stuff is definitely a bit wooden in most of them. But that's why I play them in VR, where that's all completely revamped to like a totally different experience. So you feel the story will be based around finding sentient alien life? It's got like its Mysteries of the Universe vibe going on with the force powers and things, right? And the relics and stuff. So maybe finding sentient life, maybe like ancient civilization kind of vibes, but yeah, we'll see. I just probably won't. It's funny because I was playing Horizon Forbidden West earlier, and most games I'm driving towards the end and I want them to end so that I can move on. I want to get to the end of Horizon Forbidden West so that I can play like XYZ, whatever I want it to be, and then I want to get to the end of those games so that I can play other games. And Starfield, like, I don't want to get to the end of Skyrim because I don't want to get to the end of Skyrim. I'm enjoying running around Skyrim. And Fallout will probably be similar. The Fallout VR mod or VR conversion is not as accomplished, and the modding community aren't as far along as they are with Skyrim. So Fallout is lower priority for me, but when it starts to feel right, I won't want it to end. I'm just going to want to stay there for a while. But Starfield, I don't want it to end when I'm playing it. I'm just going to live there. So if the story is really gripping and it pushes me to the end, then I'll just hope for a good post game, I guess. You get bored because they're so big. What about Replicant? Do you like things like The Witcher 3 or other big open world games, or are you just really not a fan of big games? You'd rather perfect your Street Fighter skills? And what about the mid-size, like the smaller versions, the Outer Worlds kind of things? Avowed when that comes out. So those aren't as big, but have a similar look and feel. Let's pop up the next question, please. Peter, you've never played such a big game, so you don't know whether you're going to push to the end or not. Yeah, we also don't know like how good the story is going to be, so I understand it's difficult to answer that one yet. Replicant, you love big games, you just can't get into them. And Tom, you like a game to end, you feel uncomfortable if you know they won't. That's why you don't play MMOs. Well, so Starfield is like self-contained though, so it's a little bit different to an MMO, like a service game that keeps on delivering content. In a sense, I love that, if they're done right and fair, but so often it's tied to dark commercial practices, the dark patterns that we love to hate. And yeah, it's weird. I consider those like the kind of opposite of Game Pass subscriptions. Game Pass gives you games and games and games and games and games, and you want to get through them when you want to play as much as possible. Or you can get a singular service game that you play exclusively for a decade. And it's weird how those go against each other. Like in a sense, Starfield is anti-Game Pass because it's a single game that you could play for a decade, and there will be a big audience of people that do. At the same time, it obviously isn't anti-Game Pass. It will fit very nicely there, and a lot more people will get to play it. But you never got into end game stuff, Tom. It's the problem with end game stuff is it is usually really cynically designed. So service games or a single game that's like meant to be replayed forever like that falls into the design trap of developers trying to solve an impossible task. The impossible task is that their players will play. There will be people playing this game for like 15 hours a day for a month or something. And they run into this trap where it's impossible to develop fresh content at a rate that will satisfy those players forever. So they design the whole game around repeatable content. Whatever can be recycled and reused and rehashed is like a win for the development team because it will keep those people occupied. And the consequence of that is always that you end up with like trash that normal people are obligated to force themselves through to try and keep up. Repeatable content, daily quests have a whole load more attached to them as well that we've talked about many times. That's the dark patterns, but generally quality of content suffers drastically from trying to satisfy the people that never get off of the game. Difficult one to answer for those studios that are making that kind of game because they're not doing it. It's not necessarily sinister and evil to make repeatable content. They're just trying to solve a real problem. So yeah, like some of my favorite games were last forever games that you could keep on playing, but I don't know how they fit into my life anymore. Right, next question is Asa and Isla choose donut, Toblerone, stir fry, or school dinners. Vegetable options available for all. Choosing what I want to have out of those things, or what I want to like get rid of. School dinners is broad and like it's just mass-produced slop, so not that. Toblerones are nice and donuts are nice, but I like a stir fry. If you're talking about I can only have one of these foods to sustain me for a long period of time, it would definitely be stir fry. If you talk about best though, like stir fry is not a special treat. I have stir fries there like a good healthy mealtime meal. As a treat between those, I'd probably say I do like Toblerone. Again, donuts, you've got like there's variety in there. You can get all kinds of different donuts. I could get like an apple and cinnamon donut, and it's probably delicious. But I'm still going stir fry. Pick the healthy option. Tony, you need another vacation. You have my permission to have another vacation. Wayne, welcome, sir. Hope you are doing well as well. White Toblerones, no thank you very much. I don't think I've ever had a white Toblerone, to be fair, but if it's like other white chocolate, I already feel sick just thinking about it. White chocolate's not for me. And vegetable Toblerone is also not for me. You get one every Father's Day, a white one. Good. I assume you're a fan and this isn't like a terrible misunderstanding with your children. That you do enjoy a white Toblerone. What is on my screen now? I don't know. Next question, please. Yeah, I found some cherry coke. I'm gonna put that in with the rum. That'll fix that up. Good. Oh no, we've run out of questions. That's good. So that means we're coming to the end time, so the end of the show for today. Oh, here's one just in from Tony. Will I stream Far Alone sales? Tony, I'm in a weird place with streaming. I don't know the answer. You may have noticed I've not really done any streaming this week. I'm very likely to try and get back into it. I've got a VR treadmill coming. I want to commit 1 million hours per week to virtual reality. I want to commit another few million hours to pancake games as well. It's very, very difficult. So that particular game, Lone Sales, whatever it's called, wasn't particularly on my radar. But you know I'm responsive when you say that you want to see something. So I played through the whole of Somerville on request. Maybe I'll stream that. I don't know. When does it come out, Tony? Do you know? Coke will go good with that rum and cherry. Yes, Tom. The problem is that it's a cherry Coke. So I've got cherry Coke and cherry rum, and I'm kind of spoiling the novelty of it being cherry rum. It's out already. It's a very chill game and easy to play through it. Hey, Tony, I'm very capable of getting through games that are quite difficult. Thank you very much. But yeah, I might. Yeah, look at my screen space reflections. I did so well on this background. I'm such a prick. Why do I do this? Actually, on a more serious note, I might stop doing this. Like the Q&A thing might shift and change over time and not be something that I spend like multiple hours on setting up the background. I might simplify that because you're not really here for the backgrounds, right? I like doing them. And they set things apart in a novel way, but did not exactly set the world alight. So I think I probably am wasting my time. It's going to be very cherry. I like cherry, so that's all right. Favorite beer and lager? Where did that come from? So I like a Guinness. Don't very often have it, but I do like a Guinness. Lager, so depends on where I am and how much I plan to drink. Actual proper lagers, I like Stella, Peroni, Kronenberg, Cobra, that kind of stuff. I don't drink it often at all. You probably haven't seen me drink like lager on stream at all for a reason. And I like the non-bubbly ales, the Doom Bar and stuff like that. San Miguel's fine, yeah. San Miguel's a decent one. But I don't drink lager very often at all. I quite frequently have some red wine or spiced rum or gin or stuff like that. Way more so than lager and beer. So that's kind of what I figured. I figured people aren't really like, conversations are the good bit, right? So the backgrounds, I quite like making them, but I do spend too long on it. So we'll see how it goes, how it plays out. I obviously also have the option of repeating previous backgrounds, trying to get a bit more out of the hours that I put into them. But I quite like this one. It's neat. You can't drink red wine. It gives you bad headaches. Yeah, it was the same for my son. My kids won't. Like, kids are supposed to want to try things like that, right? We gave many years ago when my oldest boy was 10-ish, maybe 11, I don't know. He took a sip of red wine and he like reacted very strongly and accidentally threw it all over the table. And since then, neither child has dared touch anything alcoholic. Like, he left an impression on his younger brother as well, so Can't get them to touch the stuff. Not that I'm like this awful parent trying to get my kids drunk or anything, but you know, it's fun to let them try a little bit every now and again. They will not. I like red wine. Belgian and German Hellenic beers are the ones for you. Tell me what that is. Give me an example. There was your idea. What was your idea, Isla? I missed it. Right. I think we're done. We're done for today. I don't know if we did any takes, but we had conversations. There were some games discussed. So I didn't follow the topics very well. I'll probably be a bit more with it next week, maybe. Maybe. Thank you, Tony. Thank you, Isla. Thank you everybody for coming along and talking to me as we do. Things coming up. I don't know, actually. I don't know. Thank you, Peter. That is good today. I don't know. I'm undecided. Undecided because they are a little bit different. But alternative background ideas. Yes, we did talk about some potential overlay things and stuff like that. Yeah. Yep. Or hang on. Hang on one moment. Oh, it's gone. Oh, I was going to bring up Gaz's one and just like poke a little fun at him again, but no. Good job on the thumbnail always, every week. Yes. Thank you for those. Right. Let's wrap up. I still haven't, after over a year, we're like a year and 3 weeks in, I still haven't got a good way to close off the show. So we're just gonna do that. I don't know when the next stream is. I don't think there will be one tomorrow. Saturday we'll have go live. Don't know who the guests are yet. Sunday's my most regular stream day, so there will be some kind of gaming content on Sunday. Probably Street Fighter, but we shall see on the day. And I can't find the button. Yeah. See you next time.